Instagram side.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, there we
Woo.
are. Good evening, everyone. And welcome to the truth behind the truth. Yes, indeed. What a day. What a week. What a time.
Rainy day out here in LA.
That's right.
Oh my God.
A lot to talk about today. Want to welcome our Instagram family. They are live on another venue because we're trying to get it incorporated. Soon you guys will be live with us here, so y'all will get a chance to see behind the scenes tonight. Well, y'all don't.
I know, right?
But it's going to be a great show tonight. Great show tonight. And we thank you for taking the time out to be a part of us and allowing us to bring information to help better your lives so that you can pursue your authenticity, to know that you are enough. And like Parnell says, get the hell out of my damn business. All right. We
just mind your damn business.
Oh, mind your damn business. Exactly.
I'll get a business.
Get some business of your own. Okay. I know that is right. So this quick reminder that we're going to get into digging into the show. We do not have our mugs handy. Oh my gosh!
It'll be all right.
But you guys know about our mugs.
We can go a day without them, a night without them.
Yeah, we got them.
It'll be all right.
We got them.
As long as you have yours,
you can get them. Yeah, exactly. So you can order them up with us for $13.99. Just simply send an email to ttbttshow@gmail. Repeat, order your mug for $13.99 at ttbttshow@gmail. Now we do have a contest going on Instagram as well. We have a contest for 13. Well, no, I'm sorry, what was it? 13. Ooh. 5 likes and 5 shares. I know, right? we will provide you a complimentary mug as well for supporting the show and what we have done. For those of you that are joining us on Instagram tonight, we have been live on this platform for 4 years. Okay.
Yes.
So our aspirations and goals and what we're going to do is that we will be a live show on a network soon. So follow us here, follow us there. But again, I want to remind you guys on Instagram tonight, go to YouTube land. YouTube land. Yes, exactly. Our YouTube page. Just go. You can type in TTBTT on your search. Go down, hit the live, and then you'll be right there with us on YouTube. Okay, I'm saying too much now. All right.
Time for the territory.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, for real. All right, D, how are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. Just trying to beat this weather. Okay. That's it. The weather has been taking a number, and going from different places and different weather, it's been really doing a lot. But I'm great.
Good.
You know what's so funny? It's like we all are from the East Coast. And me coming from the South too as well. I was joking with somebody on my job. I said, it's like for 3 years being out here in LA, we were so spoiled because the first year we moved here, there was no season. I felt like there was no season to be had, especially around this time of the year, because it was sunny. It felt like spring. It felt like summer. It was just bliss. But it was last year and this year, the rain, the cold, the tornadoes started to creep on in. And I kept saying to myself, what happened? It was like, did we just bring the East Coast weather to the West Coast?
Listen.
I was confused, Darnell. I ain't gonna lie. I was really confused.
I think that's the same thing I said about the rain. Because they say it don't rain in Southern California. And I'm like, I'm playing here from Seattle. And I have seen more rain than I wanted to see. So I'm just like, well, this time of year I'm used to rain. I didn't want it to be here.
Right.
So but it's been
me myself, I don't mind the rain. I like the rain.
Just working in it. Just
of course, it does. But I don't mind the rain. Because the cleansing, refreshing, all the things that come along with it, and we do need it. And at that time, California was in the middle of a drought. But last year it really the drought kind of got absorbed, as you might as well say, and because of all the rain we did have and the snow and everything. So we're probably not going to get that deep into it this year, but you never know.
Well, as long as the Colorado River doesn't, dry up, that's where mostly we get all our water from, is the Colorado River.
Right.
So as long as that don't dry up. But the one thing that boggles my spirit living in this city, they don't have any rain catchers. They've been talking about building some here and there in LA. Right. But I have been surprised with all the droughts through the years. They have never thought about building rain catchers.
Wow.
That's interesting to me. How you can live in a city where there's no rain, but when it do rain, you should be prepared.
Be prepared for it.
But they just They ain't never prepared. They ain't even prepared for the homeless. I mean, to be honest with you, LA is so all over the place. And I don't even want to say it's the culture. I think it's the situation with our city council.
Right.
You know, we're going to be talking about a ball of confusion.
Right.
That is a ball of confusion in LA.
Yes.
It's the city council. But hey, it's not only LA, it's Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
It's Birmingham, Alabama.
Right.
It's the whole country at this point.
It is.
It's the whole country.
It certainly is. I mean, and oh my gosh, it's just so much that, on a day-to-day basis, like co-host Sandy Hackett always says, is that you could have a meeting one moment and turn around and then that meeting changes to something else by the time you go live. Because some of the news that some idiotic thing that somebody has done, in the process of that. Speaking of idiotic.
No, don't
now before we go to break, let's just go and get Tim Scott out of the way. Oh my God, Instagram. I'm sure y'all watched it because it came up on Instagram. But really, I'm just saying, really, Tim, really. So you're this, and y'all know me, y'all just joining us. We don't get into racial issues like that on the show. That's not our platform to say that we're either pro-black or to this or whatever. However, when some stupidity come up, you got to bring it up. Where the guys, what color the skin and maybe where they coming from. So I'm embarrassed. Okay, I'm embarrassed for him. I'm embarrassed to the degree that you're going to actually stoop that low to align yourself with someone that supports white supremacy. And you in South Carolina, of all places, you're a congressman coming out of South Carolina, and one of the biggest places that had problems during the time frame that it did. People swinging from trees. I don't mean to swing in the backyard of tires. All right, but you're going to align yourself with the complete idiot, the narcissist himself. I got more to say, but I'm going to let you go ahead.
I just want to say your faith in people is so impeccable.
Right. Oh my God. Mine?
Yeah.
Oh,
your faith in people is so impeccable.
I don't have any.
I mean, to be honest with you, when you look at the motive behind what he did, it's nothing new underneath the sun. I mean, there have been many politicians who have played the game to get where they need to go and to stay in some form of power and some form of notoriety.
Yes.
Look at Clarence Thomas. Look at all of them. They all stay in power for that one reason, not to change lives or make things better, but for notoriety.
Right.
Tim Scott is just like all of them. He's playing a game.
Yeah.
And the saddest thing about it is, what is the motive?
Right.
What are you going to do now that you have given this man some support?
Right.
What is the end game? Because I don't see nothing with him. I really don't see nothing at all. He is like on rocky foundation within his own party. They don't look to him for anything. So it's not that I don't care for the man. It's just the fact that I don't know what you represent. I don't know what you stand for.
Right.
But that's just me.
Right.
I think what he's doing, he's basically playing chess, thinking that the king is the most important key piece on the chessboard, and it's actually the queen. And in the end, someone is going to say checkmate, and he'll be out of there like the rest of them.
Well, he already gone already a long time ago. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, for all that it's worth, I just don't even see how he even thought he would become president.
Look at him.
I mean, this is just simply insane, and I don't think where he thinks that this is going to lead him as a politician. If you're not concerned, what's becoming now, it's party versus people. It is not people than party. And whatever you think of aligning yourself with the potentiality that you think Donald Trump is going to get in office is simply crazy. I mean, it really isn't. Like I said, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be a bald-headed man right now.
I can't with you. I can't with you. To be a
listen, I don't put no faith in none of them
right now.
Well,
see, in this case,
our gums don't overlap like Tim. I'm just saying.
In this case, I can say I don't put no stock in none of them niggas. I can say that. Because they are really tripping this semester.
It's just crazy.
It's sad, but you see the game that's being played, because for some strange reason, he feels like if he gets in good with Trump, that means he gets in good with the people that supports Trump. And I hate to tell this man this. There is no love there.
Right.
You're just a face that is just there to say that we love black people. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
A black Republican, I think there are a bunch of black Republicans that are true to the core, the core culture the true message of what a Republican is. Right. But then you play the game of trying to hide situations and systematic issues that has plagued us that I can't get on board with. Because I live this black experience every day. And I hate to say it, I can't just hide my face the fact that what are you trying to tell me or what are you trying to say to me? But hey, it is what it is, to each his own. Everybody has a unique experience in this country that is different, like from Nikki Haley. You know, for her to say this country has
Tricky Haley.
Oh Lord. And that's not even her name. I don't even, that's not even her original name. But for her to say that there is no racism, that this country was not based or built on the facts of the premises or the principles of racism, I hate to say it to her, girl. Go back to South Carolina and just play governor, because that's what your brand is. Your brand is to cover up that mess. And I'm sorry, your state seceded from the Union first. There was a situation where South Carolina seceded first, then the rest of the southern states. So she's in a situation where she's always going to have to cover her ass by saying there was no racism, because she has a brand from that state in particular that says no. We were always on the right side of history, even though we were treasonous. We seceded. And there's still some people who want to secede from the Union. I mean, you got people from Georgia.
Let's thank God that they small ass places.
Yes, what's her name?
Murder Taylor Greene.
Murder Taylor.
Murder Taylor Greene.
But it's bad.
And then you got Abba Dabba Abbott.
How can you hold down a government position and say you want to secede from the Union? How does that happen?
It's called waking up being stupid.
Okay,
and then here comes the, thank you for all these level. I know Instagram, y'all ain't able to see all of what we're seeing right now, but I mean, and all the level of the stupidity that's coming up. You know, I mean, this Mike Johnson character. I mean, I just wonder, and we talk about this a lot. How do these people get to where they are? What type of people are electing you?
There's an audience.
I mean, and I get it, but I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's just like, somebody said to me today about the person, I'm trying not to mention the name, that's trying to be president, which is not going to happen. Okay. You can mark it on this show. It ain't going to happen. It may look like it, but it ain't going to happen. But he, I just don't understand where this thought pattern comes from. At the end of the day, and then this thing, I know we got to go to break, but we're going to bring up the fact that he would eliminate the payroll tax if he get elected. That's desperation. Okay, that's pure knowing, and you can Marcus said it on the show. That's pure knowing that you're gonna lose. That's pure knowing that you're gonna lose, because now you're trying to come up with something that you're gonna try to make people come vote for you. At the end of it, because you can't win no other way. So you're gonna create a fictitious lie. Okay, well, let's go to break real quick, guys. We're gonna keep seeing us while we're on break, but we're gonna go on a quick break real quick, and we'll be right back to continue this discussion about that person. All right. Hey guys, all right, we are back. Thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. In our excitement, we got a lot more to talk about, so we just, hey, hang in there, guys. We may say something you like, may something you don't like, okay? But hey, you're part of what we got going on. All right. So anyway, back to what I was saying about that person. All right. So how can you remotely come up with an idea that you're going to eliminate the payroll tax? So that means that everybody in government is not going to have a job. So you will get rid of all the Congress, you get all the senators, you get everybody working the national parks, everybody's not going to have a job. So I don't know how you're going to pay for people to pay the job, because our payroll taxes are paid to pay for it.
I'm sorry. That sounds like a socialist program. I thought they were against socialism.
Well,
I thought they were against socialism. And
I'm still, I get it, but
progressive.
I'm still wondering how you gonna pay the government people without the people paying the tax.
Oh,
How you gonna do it? So if you all are taking the opportunity now to sway and vote for this idiot because he's talking about getting rid of payroll taxes, okay, that's a place of complete desperation. Okay, for somebody to come up with something like that to try to sway your vote over, and knowing that they have nothing else creditable to present to you to vote for them outside of rhetoric, outside of BS and bullshit, then you got to go against payroll taxes. Really? Okay, come on. But anyway, you got your part.
Well, you know what? To be honest with you, it might work. Knowing what we know, you have a coworker who believes that might work. That might sway some people to vote. But
that's young.
Well, they're gonna sway and they're gonna be real disappointed because number one,
very disappointed.
Ain't no way possible.
You know,
if they take away the income tax on the factor of that, this country is really going to be a shit screw without a paddle. You talking about the factor of people are going to be out on the streets because they're going to find a way to up the prices on everything else, and people won't be able to afford to live. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
You're not going. That is the functional. That's why we pay taxes, unfortunately. But that's why we pay taxes. And then the number one tax collecting percentage is the payroll tax. That's what the IRS is there for. The certified collection agency that they are. But that's what it's there for. That's why you survive. And then, I mean, really? Huh? Come on, people, wake the hell up.
And if they sit back but the uneducated people will be the ones who fall for it, though. Oh yeah, I don't want the tax to take it out of my check. Yeah, listen, you're gonna be a dummy because you vote for him. And if the factor came that he got in there, you're gonna be sitting back mad and pissed off because you're gonna be like, well, he's supposed to have did that. Yeah, the same thing you say about all of them. They supposed to have did this, but they can only do as much as they can do.
Absolutely.
He said this now. He said that he is going to bring on retribution. He's going to have to tear down some things and rebuild up some stuff. So I don't know. If he has a whole party that's going to be for him, he has a Supreme Court. He has the Supreme Court as a whole. I mean, to be honest with you, now that's one thing he left as a legacy after his presidency.
Yeah,
the Supreme Court is going to sway in Trump's favor if he is president. If
big,
God
huge
forbid it,
big, huge.
But the saddest thing about it is, we don't know of a plan of a concrete plan with Trump because he doesn't have one.
Well, that was my point. But go ahead.
But the thing about this situation with people saying that he's going to give us STEMI checks and all this stuff.
Please.
Lenard from the Breakfast Club. He's Charlemagne, whatever you want to call him. The saddest thing about that is when you look for entertainment to get your news. You're going to be all over the place. I tried to do my own research because let me tell you something. These people who are just talking out of the side of their ass, they ain't doing us no favors. Half of them don't even pay taxes. That's why some of them end up in jail for not paying taxes.
This is the thing.
They don't.
Do you actually think that so these people aren't thinking? So you talking about the factor of getting all of these things and all this quote unquote things that he's promising these people. Like during the pandemic, only reason why you got this stimulus check, the ones who got it is because of the pandemic and the people weren't working to be able to put money back into the country.
Absolutely.
That was it.
Then once everything got it took the Democrats, it took the House, who unfortunately wasn't ruled by the Republicans. It was a House full of Democrats. But the Senate,
once everything was right back up and moving, guess what happened? All these people was pissed off because you was getting $30-some per in taxes back. You were getting $100-some in taxes because they took the money back at tax time. So at the end of every day, they were acting like, oh, there's something big and great was done. When you actually paid for it in the end.
Well, we said that all along.
We're still paying for it.
If they did see that, yeah, no, right. So here's the thing: if you did not pay attention to that in the beginning, and it was said to you when you got it, they told you when you got it, you're going to pay it back. But I didn't hear that because I got $1,200 in my bank account. I can go buy stuff that I don't need. Walmart got busy that weekend, baby. And I ain't gonna say that they bought clothes. Okay, Walmart got real busy. They ain't buy no food because I was in Walmart. I didn't see no food in line. Okay, but anyway, I won't bring that up right now. Okay, I'm not gonna bring that up. So I just the gullible part about all of this is it's just so embarrassing. I like to start at the top of the show. I was embarrassed by Tim Scott. I'm embarrassed by the decisions that these other people in America is making. I'm embarrassed. It's like I'm only, and this is going to take us to another point, but it's like the embarrassment that I have to say that I'm a part of the Christian faith.
Well, that's a done deal.
That's another embarrassment. I am just like embarrassed, y'all, as to what y'all done. But we'll get there. You got another point about this?
Yeah, I have a point of what you just said because, to be honest with you, there was a lady that came on and I think Charles don't have it, but I sent that to his Instagram. But she said, as the progressives, like what's her name? Reed. What's her name? Reed. What's from MSNBC?
Joy Reid.
Joy Reid. She was laying down the list of what the Republicans represent, and she was talking about the radical Christians and the people. You got the white supremacists and all this other stuff. And this lady who is
y'all hear this, right?
who is of a supporter of the Republican conservative youth, I believe. She said, I don't have any problems with them calling us racist or Christo-fascists and all this stuff. If that's what they want to call us, so be it. We will be those things. Because she felt like that this country, and she is a conservative. She said this country was built on white Judeo-Christian beliefs. Judeo-Christian beliefs, and on the principles that her forefathers wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence to set the groundwork for this country, as for white men and for white people alone. So she said, I have no problems with the progressives calling us these things, because why not?
Right.
So if they are blatantly coming out and saying these things, and it's on Instagram, right. Charles, if you have, look it up. I sent it to your news. I think I sent it to your DM. But if they are blatantly saying this, hey, so be it. And if Tim Scott, if that's what he represents, I am ashamed for him. Well, because that's who he's stepping in the limelight for a party who a conservative. The conservative youth leader is conservative.
I think it's just controlling.
Well,
okay, but it's a money game.
Right.
This whole thing is a money game. That's it. All it is. They're for everybody to line their pockets.
Well,
and it's I know that's true. Darnell, do me a favor real quick. Can you make sure that we're straight on Instagram? You can check out my live on your Instagram page while we're doing it if you can. But anyway, so yeah, I agree, with what you're saying, that, and it's, it makes it so hard to be a person of spiritual and faith. You know what I'm saying? It really does. And to see what has it become? What is it doing? What is it doing to people that don't have that opportunity? Because you get on Instagram, you get on IG, and you have a lot of these lists of people that don't know nothing about spirituality. They want to condemn everybody to a fictitious place to burn in lake of fire because they don't believe like they believe. Okay, and then everything is wrong. But then again, you're not offering any solutions to people's lives, which we can get into that a little bit. And then all this, and then you align yourself with government, which you should be in a position of separating church and state.
Oh, okay. But the saddest thing about it, that's when the churches need to start paying taxes.
Okay.
Hold
on.
Please.
How are we on Instagram? We okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
That's when the churches need to start paying taxes. I believe if you're going to align yourself in some form of political party or some form of politics, and you are representing a body of Christ or whatever religion that you support, it could be Buddhism, it could be Islam, it could be Christianity. I think it's high time for you to start paying taxes because you have crossed the threshold. But see, I don't know why, and this is just me, that a lot of these, some of the Americans, some of these people who don't even think about the fact that if there's a politician who will come into your place of worship and say, "You vote for me because I stand for what you believe," I'm surprised nobody says so. Now it's high time for us to start paying taxes. Well, I'm just saying. You know, I mean, that's just me.
Well, you just think about this, Dally. You know, the one that's on the ballot, he ain't gonna turn around and say nothing like that, because if he can make his whole place a funeral, cemetery, so he don't have to pay taxes, of course he's not gonna want them to pay taxes.
Exactly. You know, I mean, and true. I mean, and those of you didn't know that either. Okay, about the person that y'all considering. I'm not saying all y'all, but considering the voting for. He has buried his ex-wife. Hang on 1 second before you show. Buried his ex-wife on the golf course, so it could be.
And I think might be his mother-in-law soon. To his mother-in-law as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly. And I know the one that is Melania. Well, Melania. That's her
Mama.
Name.
Yeah.
Melania. Okay. You know, whoever married to him. But anyway, but buried her out there too, so you can not to pay taxes on the golf course. All right. Really? All right. But anyway, we got a clip. We're gonna show this clip. We'll be right back to talk about some more.
Yeah.
So sick of Republicans trying to shimmy away and shy away from the whole narrative that we're white Christian nationalists. No, that's what the Republican Party should be. We should try to go back to our traditional roots. America is a white Christian nation, and it's okay that we want to maintain that nation. We want to maintain what the country was founded on. Let's embrace this. Let's stop letting the left attack us. Embrace the attacks. They always call us racist. Okay, fine. I'm racist. Call me that. It's fine. I don't care what these people say about us. You know, I'm so sick of Republicans trying to shimmy away and shy away from the whole narrative that we're white Christian nationalists. No, that's what the Republican Party should be. We should try to go back to our traditional roots. America is a white Christian nation, and it's okay that we want to maintain that nation.
There you go.
Okay. So let's go.
So this is who Tim Scott is representing?
Right.
Because he's not condemning that.
Right.
But I swear she was a Democrat now. I swear she was a Democrat. Wow. They will be condemning it left and right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, this is what Nikki Haley is another one.
Tricky Haley.
Tricky Haley. She represents this, and who else represents Clarence Thomas? He represents that too.
Well, you know, I and at this point, I can applaud her for her truth and honesty.
Amen.
Okay, now that is a moment of the truth behind the truth. You see, right. And you know, I invited her to come on the Truth Behind Truth show. If you get this word out and tell her, because I want to talk to her.
I would love.
You know, I want to have a face-to-face conversation where you feel that because the color of your skin that you have the opportunity to dictate what goes on in the U.S. That's a lie. Okay, because at the end of the day, now first of all, then you are a lying Christian. Okay, so there's no need to say anything more because you're already a liar. And if you're a liar, that means that, quote unquote, in your belief fact that you're of the devil. Okay, which we don't talk about, but that means that you are a sector of him and you're one of his imps. Okay, so if you want to be Christian about what you're saying about being Christian, and let me go ahead and call you out. Call you a devil, a white devil. Oh no, I ain't gonna go there. You know like Louis Farrakhan will call you, but I ain't gonna do that.
But you know what? It's going to if like I say, if God forbid if Trump gets back in there, it's gonna go back to the quota system because this is what they all want. Those who want what she said, they want this country to maintain the status quo. Those people who are trying to cross this border and trying to come over here and find jobs, get ready. Get ready.
They better turn around.
Forget about turning them around. You know, they're going to build up some camps,
right?
Some work camps at best.
But they already doing them out. They already getting it together up in New York.
Right.
They do.
You know, we mentioned, and for Instagram, we catching this part out as well. You know, we mentioned on this show last week. Okay, and there's a book, and hopefully we can get it.
Okay, Charles. Yeah.
We mentioned last week on the show about a book called The Third Reich. Okay, there's also a complete documentary on YouTube. Okay, that you need to go and see. Okay, or watch or view. We have it up here on Instagram, but you can go to YouTube and type in The Third Reich. Okay, and look at that documentary. And if you want to know what is going on and what is happening in this country, what Hitler did. Now, my thing for that other person, I'm calling him Junior Hitler. Anything I put out there that's against what I'm calling
German American.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, but I'm giving him a new title.
Trump is German American, just like those Windsors over there who are German as well. But the saddest thing about it is, though, to be honest with you, when you don't know your history, you're deemed to repeat it. You're deemed to repeat it because let me tell you something. Over here, people will say, well, the Constitution. There's been many of countries that have had constitutions written up and torn up.
Right.
This, as a democracy,
Saddam Hussein for one, but anyway,
it's a fragile system.
Yeah.
Democracy is a fragile system. It's a fragile situation to be in because it can go away at the snap of a finger.
Right.
And the saddest thing about it is people don't understand when you don't vote, then you have given away all of your rights as a citizen of this country. You have to get out and put your name or make your name count.
Right.
That means the census and that means the vote.
Right.
One thing as an African American, if you say you don't vote, you know what? I think it's time for you to go back into the apartheid of being what is deemed a second-class citizen of a country that and I'm just not trying to be funny with this, but you would rather want to go back into Jim Crow.
Right.
Because based on the fact that our forefathers had to deal with lynchings came about because there was no protection.
Right.
We had no protection. We had no federal protection over our bodies.
Right.
So there were people who came in and did what they did because they knew we didn't have the right to vote.
Right.
They knew we didn't have no deed, no, we couldn't hold no property. We didn't have it, so they took whatever they could take.
Right.
But to be African American and say I don't vote, well, you know what? I'm sorry.
You know, you got your next. We have to go to a quick break.
Yeah.
But the next level of that, I'm saying, is both platforms. Okay. So you all that follow you hip hop community.
Oh Lord.
Okay. At the end of the day, the total distraction of what you should be doing. You follow Cardi B. You follow Nasty Ass Red. You follow Nicki Minaj. You follow what's the other one doing the commercial now? Megan, riding on a stallion. You know, and all of this. And you believe these people, okay? And you tell somebody to go to damn Pound Town and tell you what to do on your husband's DIC, and you think that these are leaders for you? Please get a life, y'all. Get a life, y'all. We'll be right back to give you some more life after this break. Really? All right, guys. We are back. We were talking on Instagram. Y'all
doing most of the talking.
Instagram to get involved with all what we're talking about here as well. So we're talking to y'all on Instagram too. I told you y'all getting behind the scenes today. Anyway, so we're here on the Truth Behind the Truth. We brought our wonderful technician, VP of the Truth Behind the Truth show, our showrunner, our brother that has a lot of wisdom, okay, known as Atlanta's best kept secret, and affectionately, that guy.
Thank you.
So you've been hearing a little bit about what we've been discussing, on behind the scenes here. So what is your take on starting with the Tim Scott situation?
And at first I was going to stay out of this conversation, but when you brought up Tim Scott, I couldn't help it. I had to jump in. This is the same guy that when Donald Trump was giving his speech, the only black guy there, Trump dropped his ink pen. Nobody else bent down to get it. He jumps out the crowd, runs to get it, hands to Trump, and Trump don't even look at it. He snatches his pen and keeps talking like,
wow,
yeah, thank you, idiot. Wow. And he grinning in the back of his teeth. And I'm thinking, this is sick. How do you play yourself in front of the country, in front of the world, looking this silly and naive? And, the thing that you mentioned earlier about the taxes, I hate taxes too. Right. I'm going to be honest with you. But the key to it is if you take away the taxes, who fixes your roads? Who fixes up your trash?
Yeah.
Who actually comes out and helps you when you have an accident? Because the EMTs get paid off for the government. So if you don't pay these people, who comes out when you have an accident? You hope somebody drives by and helps you out.
I don't think so.
You left there lost. The key is to it that we don't take enough involvement to control how it's spent. We keep letting people lead us like we're sheep. We need to participate in the system. Every time I hear somebody say, it ain't my government, I've separated myself from you. That is so ignorant and asinine. Right. You don't separate yourself. If you live in a house with your family and you say, I don't belong to this family, your mama gonna make you wash dishes. She gonna make you take out the trash because you in that house. I don't give a damn what you say. You're gonna take care of what you need to take care of. And too many of us get lost up in this, I separate myself. How do you separate yourself when you live here? Everything you do is run by government. Your seatbelt, your red lights, your emergency services, your trash, your roads. Everything is run by the taxes you pay and the people run it. The key is we have to remember Citizens United, and I say this all the time, it screwed us. When the Supreme Court let companies be people, and they're not people, become people, they took over. Now they can put in any amount of money they want to run these elections the way they want to and how they see fit because they have the money to do it. That power that's why Clarence Thomas was taking all those trips. That's why a lot of them was doing what they're doing because money speaks. And until we get these people to understand that the civics of this country is separation of church and state and a separation of what we feel we are owed, we all live here together. This wasn't, like Darlin said, this is an experiment. This was done because you didn't want the king telling you what to do. So you came here. Now you're going to get rid of the I guess you call it democracy, so to speak, and get the king back. Why? Because they say Donald Trump was sent by God. And I want to puke every time I hear somebody say
Can you just pause and say that for the people in the back of in the back of the house? Okay. Can you believe that these idiots, even that one that you just played, even that one we just played a second ago, believes or somehow wherever it is, that man, that piece of sent by God? Really? Oh my God.
The same person who turned around and said that they can't be held accountable because they never supported the Constitution. So since when he was sworn in, I didn't support the Constitution, so I can be a president again.
Oh my God. I know you got a lot to say about this.
That's what this man just stated on yesterday.
I'm just so baffled about how this this catastrophe colliding together. But I'm gonna say this. I know you got some things you want to say. So what we're seeing right now, okay? Number one, the title of this show today, guys, is called A Ball of Confusion. Okay, it is a probably running title we can have for a couple of weeks. A Ball of Confusion, because if y'all ain't got it right, you are a ball of confusion, both levels. All right. So what we see here now is this colliding of where things, amazingly how religion and politics is trying to merge. Yeah. Okay. And because you are trying to merge two separate ideas, two separate situations, two separate factors, you're creating in a very short term a Frankenstein monster.
Well, okay, you got people who don't want the Sharia law.
Right. So you got pieces from everything trying to come together or bring this thing together to make it. And what anybody know about Frankenstein? It went around and what it did, it tried to eat and kill. Okay, so this is exactly the same thing that what you're trying to do is to eat and kill. There you go. That's part of the Frankenstein. The January 6th is part of the Frankenstein. All of these acts that you're trying to collide in here and make it viable. You know what I mean? If you know anything, I don't want to get into deep story about Frankenstein, but if you can just go and research what Dr. Frankenstein came up when he created these body parts from all over.
People are in desperate need of a leader. The sad, and I hate to say this though, but at the end of the day, you have Americans in this country want somebody to lead them upstream without a path. And it's sad though, because to be honest with you, as much freedom as we have in this country to do what we want to do, we do take our freedoms for granted, but we don't understand that if you want somebody to lead you, that means that person has the power to tell you how many calories to eat, what color clothes to wear, when to wake up, what job.
Y'all listen to this, right?
All of this stuff. Because if you learn in history with an autocratic leader, with autocracy comes one man, one leader, one society. There's no three societies. Right. We fall up underneath one man, and I hate to say this, this is what Trump wants. Right. Trump wants no society. Right. He wants all of us to fall up underneath him. And
he wants to be Putin Jr.
They don't understand. Right. They don't understand.
He wants to be Putin Jr.
Yeah.
He wants to be Putin Jr. Putin took over the USSR and eliminated everybody. To the point he controls all of the energy, all of the resources, he controls it all, and he gets a portion of it because he's the ruler, and he gets to pick who can be millionaires or billionaires through his little crew, his little clique, and that's what Trump wants to do. And the only reason the Republicans, which I really wish it wasn't so true, but it's so racist and so white that when they do it, they only want it because it would keep them in power. Right. They don't want to become the minority or even an equal partner in this thing. Right. They want what used to be. When Nikki Haley says they were trying to make the government better. In other words, they were experimenting on black women. They were raping black women and children. Yes. They were, Thomas Jefferson raped that young lady,
14-year-old girl?
Sally Hemings. 14-year-old, he had no business being in there with that 14-year-old woman. And then talking about it was a love affair. We whitewash and twist this stuff around so much it makes no sense. And then we always talk about how we for decency. How do you promote it? Well, that was the time. It was the time when you were beating black men and hanging them. Thousands of men have been hung and castrated and put on fire in public display like it's a doggone concert. Yes. And we're supposed to be like, yeah, you need to get past that. Get over it. You got a skill set. Yeah, I got whipped to do the.
But you have to think about this though, too, Charles. If these dummies don't sit back and realize the fact of this, so do they not understand that in the midst of the time that he was in office, that a lot of our black kids, men, women were killed right in front of us?
Wow. Wow. That's a pause.
All within the time that he was in there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But they would counter argument and say, well, when Obama was president, was it Sandra Bland and all those other see, they will counteract with that too. The saddest thing about it is the police unions will be back at square one. They will be back in service all over again. Not right now. They are, and I hate to say, even in LA, I feel it. I hate to say it. The police unions out here, they like bump y'all because at the end of the day, y'all don't support us, y'all don't love us, so we're gonna allow certain things to happen to y'all, so y'all need us. But outside of LA is a different situation. The thing about
remember this. Why was the police created? They were created because slaves were disappearing.
Right.
They were leaving. And then we didn't get vagrancy laws until they freed the slave, got rid of slavery, and the black men had nothing to do because they didn't belong to a plantation. They had to figure out where they're going. So they made vagrancy laws. You can't hang around without a job. You can't, and they still do that to this day. Why you Negroes sitting on the stoop? You ain't got a job? Why y'all hanging out here like this? There's no way in the world you can explain all the torment and the undercurrent that the black and I hate to say it this way, but the Native Americans has gotten it. They may not have been slaves, but they've been abused highly.
Yes.
Killed. Yes. Suicide rate amongst teenagers is the highest in the country.
They're women.
Expelled them.
Yes.
They've just and then we keep saying, well, it's just progress. For who?
Well, you know, I get it. I'm gonna throw this question out there for this. I go back and I'm hearing everything you guys are saying, and we're all hearing this. But my question goes back to where did this deception, ease its way into society?
Social media.
In some
form of the media.
Speaking of which, and it's a 2 point right here. I do want to say to Instagram, you guys, and you can go to my page, JB the Actor, or you can go to your page or any one of our pages. There was a thing that just went out about Donald Trump. Okay, I have to say it for this fact, and it shows you the parallel aligning with him and what is to becoming a dictator. That is what the man wants to do. This is when I started calling him Hitler Jr. But look on your Instagram and you will see it, and that is not showing you anything. I don't know what I don't know what to say to you because you just probably really want that. You just want that.
If you don't know your history, you are deemed to repeat it at the end of the day.
But here's the thing: we're sitting right here telling you your history. We're sitting here giving you information to understand where things have happened in history.
But you have people like Killer Mike, which kills me sometimes when he say this. I would rather want Trump in because I would know who is against me. I would rather want somebody in the office that is against us.
Stupid can you be?
But the thing about it is, though, which brings on about confusion, you have a lot of people who want, in some form or fashion, to go back and have some form of separation. And I hate to say
separation
this.
From what?
They won't separate. They don't like integration. They want separation.
You can't never go back.
You will go back.
You can never go back. You know what I'm saying? You can create things moving forward, but you can never go back. That's impossible. And to think like that is impossible. And I think one of the things we need to keep that narrative out of the air because you can never go back. It's like if you could go back, hell, there's a lot of things I'd like to go back and do, but you can't do that. But you got to create something that's going to be better for your future. Yeah. But what we're creating is more havoc for humanity in this. If y'all think at any given point that it will be a separative situation, it can't go that way, y'all, because something will fall into place that will prevent it. It can't. Because the bottom line here is that there is more unity in humanity than it is what is recognized. We're talking about right now, right now we're talking about tribalism. Okay,
that's basically what it is.
And tribalism does have a way of allowing its head to rise up, but there is no power in tribalism. The power comes in the unity of the people. Okay, and I truly believe that there's the unity in the people, but the tribalism has to show itself. So the unity of people, when it rises, we know it was there the whole time.
That's why I say that your faith in people is impeccable.
Oh,
your faith in people is impeccable because sometimes I shake my head. I live in a reality where I'm just shaking my head every day, Charles and Darnell. I'm like, people will be people,
right?
And there's no control over that, and you can't control how the human mind because we're all trying to survive in this bitch.
Exactly.
We're trying to survive.
Honey, I'm moving to Indonesia if the shit don't go right. I'm moving to Bali.
And respectively what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that, and I do have a true level of heart for humanity, but you have to look at there's always a scale of the checks and balances in any situation. That's a universal law.
That's right.
And then it may seem one way, for a long period of time, but in a second, situations can change. And those of you that think Donald. Well, I wasn't gonna say that name. That idiot may get in a second. It could possibly change. Guess what? He may not even live to get to the end of the year.
Well,
what you gonna do then?
They say he has syphilis.
Okay, well, so you got more than that.
He has second degree syphilis.
But anyway, but seriously though, but seriously though, he may not even live to the end of the year. You see, you know, there's all kind of circumstances that could necessarily happen between now and November. So my thing is like, if you believe that way, go ahead and believe that way. I will give you that room. But the truth behind the truth is going to be revealed. You know, and
get your asses out there to the ballot and vote right.
Exactly. I'm sorry to cut you off. We got a quick break to run through, and we will be right back. Instagram, hang in there because we come right back to y'all. All right, guys, we're back. We were just talking Instagram while we are on break here. You know, giving them a little bit more deeper information as to what we were talking about. But back to the point, and I want to hear you guys about tribalism and where you kind of see the makeup of this on America First, but yet around the world. You know, and what we're experiencing, what we're seeing in all these remote places that are going on. You know, but go ahead, Darnell, you want to share on that?
Charles, you can go first because you know he be behind the scene. I like for him to.
Well, you know what? I want to go first. I've been seeing so many on my Twitter feed. You got, and especially from the Black narrative, I've been seeing the foundational Black African American organizations. I've been seeing the you got your NAACP. You have a lot of and the MAGA and all that. You have a lot of craziness that is going on that is bringing on this ball of confusion of the immigration system right now because of the fact that you have people who are now rushing the border to get here. But then you have this narrative where these people are going to take over and take our jobs, take our livelihoods. You have people, you have this propaganda that's now scaring people into Trump's hands. Because they feel like if we have people coming over here from God knows what, they're going to take over everything that we have, and there's nothing that's going to be left. In your hometown of Chicago, they're having town hall meetings where they are just cussing each other out, literally telling them that we're not going to vote blue in the city of Chicago. We're going to vote red, and we're going to vote y'all's asses out. I'm looking at it on Twitter, but it's everywhere within the United States, and it's a sad sight to see.
So your point again, and what information is out there that we just talked about in a book, in a documentary that he could go see?
The Third Reich.
The Third Reich. It is clearly telling everything that America is going on through right now, and what happened in Germany. Okay, it happened in Germany, guys. It's very similar to that. A horrible man. I mean, you think Trump bad? That's why I call him Trump Jr. I mean, Hitler Jr. What that man did in Germany. Okay, take the opportunity to investigate and learn. Go ahead, Charles. What's your point?
I'm really befuddled because when you look at the way things have been set up, most people who say the Democrats haven't done anything for them are under red governments. Government, the governor, the mayor, all red. So of course, no Democratic candidate. They lost. If you lose, you can't do anything for the people.
Right.
So if you're not winning in that country or in that state or in that city, why are you expecting Democrats to do anything? You have no power. Biden came into the White House with a plan for immigration. You know what they told him?
Right.
It's too bulky. We can't do nothing with it right now. Just like they said about picking a judge for the Supreme Court. Can't do that close to elections. So the election over, they got close to election. We can do that though. But you told us last election. No, but we can do it now.
Right.
This is the hypocrisy and the underlying dirt that goes on. This is why when I hear my people in my hometown of Chicago, and I hate to say it this way, they sound so ignorant. We'll talk to Trump. Trump took out a 4-page ad to hang the Central Park 5 or the exonerated 5 now, as they're called. A whole page, and they weren't even guilty, but he was going to hang them. So you think the same man who was also went to court and what they call proved him guilty of segregated housing is going to do something for black people? He let Kodak Black and the rest of them guys, Lil Wayne, and get off their charges because they're millionaires. They paid them. They paid them to get exonerated and get the charges dropped. He didn't do it because he thought they were good people. They said, we got a check. He goes, they got a check? I'll take care of them. Send them on over here. And then he did 2 people that actually deserved it. That was a young lady who killed her abuser, which she never should have been in jail in the first place. Right. And then another woman. He let those only 2 that he let out that actually had cases that should have been exonerated. The rest of them, they paid for it. So it's a pay to play. Just like he was telling our boy in the Ukraine. You give me something on Biden, right, and I'll give you your weapons and stuff.
This is what the
but it goes with the narrative that Trump and most Republicans believe that African Americans will only listen to entertainers and nobody else. And I hate to say this though, you know, we always fall into the stupidity of listening to rappers over those who are doing the actual work. And the sad thing about it is that what brings on the chaos and confusion within our own culture and the community. We have no faith not in our leaders. Right. The NAACP ain't doing nothing. I'm just sorry. They're just a brand right now. Right. They're a commodity. They're not doing nothing. And they have left us high and dry to just try to figure things out, but they're not doing it. So yes, they're listening to the rappers right now.
When you get paid to keep your mouth shut, you get paid. I mean, it's just bottom line.
You know.
So
I just told you all this whole kit and caboodle is a money game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's got to this country is so corrupt.
Think about the churches. The churches aren't legit unless they follow the doctrine of the white churches, which is white Jesus. The Bible preaches they preach, and then the state and the city give them money to provide for their upkeep. So they shut up. They don't do what they need to do as far as the community because they want to keep the church. Now everybody's all about the money.
Conferences.
All of the listen, this is the thing about it. And I was just saying this on last night. I said the funniest thing about the people is this. I said, you know, especially with people of color, we've all raised and we're all conditioned to the fact of the church and the leader and being in the church and this, that, and other. You follow the pastor and all this, that, and other. So we have to have someone to follow. But the church now is basically so corrupt and it's all a money game to now, as it is. So it's just like there's no one to follow. It's just now just pattern. Everybody's going off a pattern. So if the pastor came up tomorrow and say, "Hey, everybody in the congregation gonna vote Republican," guess what? They're gonna all do that.
Right.
Well, the only thing they're preaching is against homosexuality.
They ain't nothing. There
is nothing else in this world that's going on but somebody humping each other in the bedroom.
Nothing.
Like
ain't nothing else going on.
Ain't nothing else going on in this world.
Let me say this point. I know we got to wrap it up. So since we've been combining religion and politics and all that, here's a framework of all that. It, like you said, Darnell, it is all based upon money. The presidency is all based on money. It is what party, regardless if it's Democrat or Republican. It's about who raises the most money in that particular party, how they become president. The president's office is paid for. Okay, there's certain times the Republican will pay for it, and there's certain times that the Democrats will pay for it. It is paid for. Why do you think that they're in these missions to try to raise all of these funds? Every one of them are out on the battlefield in that sense, trying to raise money from dumb.
Maybe he back out there again.
Oh yeah, that's it. Oh man, it's just beginning. You will hear. So whoever, put it this way, whoever raises the most money gonna be your president.
Basically.
Well, baby, he doesn't have to. He have to pay all the money out and all these legal fees.
Well, yeah, he don't have the money.
So that's he out there trying to figure out. And you done borrowed money from other countries already, so you done you can't ain't no borrow.
So therefore, he definitely ain't gonna win on capital gains. That's for sure. And if he loan Giuliani some, he sure ain't gonna have the money. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. Instagram, you'll be seeing us exactly like this, but you're going to see us from the main platform really soon. All right. But guys, thank you so much for tuning into the Truth Behind the Truth tonight. It has been a lively conversation. We will bring more educational points. If you don't understand, find a way to understand. If you don't know what you're doing, find a way to do it. And get that book and read that documentary, The Third Reich. Yeah. All right, y'all have a powerful week. We will see you back here next week on what? The truth behind the truth. Good night, guys.